And our hairs are twin.
I know. I looked at it and I was like, did God say something? God said it's a good day, so let it be a good day. Thank you.
Sawa sawa. So you will do the needful, what you always do. Karibu.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning from County 045. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and we demystify the fact that Mondays are boring days and the fact that all countries all cold, but we have to be warm because Power Monday brings power. We meet every single Monday as from 7:15 to 8:15. We discuss diverse topics, and who knows, you might make your million from this forum. Not only do we meet virtually, we meet physically. And this month, oh my God, you couldn't miss the meet and greet, which is on 28th of March this month. And the last quarter is culminated with a dinner, and the itinerary has been posted in the group. So you can't afford to miss it. Today's poem is titled Like a Phoenix. Earlier on, we were discussing what is a phoenix. And I know we are going to Google it because we have been empowered here on getting to know what you don't know. Like a phoenix. From ashes and deck, I have learned to rise with broken wings. I've tested the skies. The night that once ruled my wounded eyes, yet hope returns where courage flies. Like a phoenix, I rise. The fire that burnt me became my rise, a fierce rebirth with no fear denies. I shed the past with glowing skies and met my fate with open eyes. Like a phoenix, I rise. Each fall prepared me for a stronger rise. Each tear made a spark no pain can defy. Through the storms and the storms, I claimed the skies. My heart remembered how it flies. Like a phoenix, I rise. What was once lost now fuels my rise. In a crimson dawn, my soul replies. I chase the skies across the skies, unbound by doubt or the old goodbyes. Like a phoenix, I rise. You see the embers whisper, you can't rise, but still I rise. From the silent depths of fearless tries, I carved new dreams in endless skies where broken hope no longer dies. Like a phoenix, I rise. I choose to wear my scars because they mark my rise. They are a map of truth with no lie that applies. Through the shadowed parts or the open skies, I saw beyond my former size because like a phoenix, I rise. I tend not to let fate choose my rise. I reforged it in a flame that no more disguises. I sang my strength to the waiting skies, a living proof that life defies all odds. I rise like a phoenix. When fear returns, I know I will still rise, remembering the burning tries that I tried. In every end, there is a birth that is coming through the skies and teaches my heart that hope still flies. I rise like a phoenix. I rise. From the pain that whispered, I heard victories rise. My story blessed in fierce supplies. I lift my name with open skies. I pinned it in at the billboard and I said, still I rise. So hear me now. Let us choose to rise like phoenixes crowned by daring skies with steady flames and lifted eyes. We live, we soar, Power Monday, still we rise. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Lucita. Like phoenixes, we rise. All of us, we rise. Thank you so much, Dr. Lucita. That was such an awesome poem. Asante sana. And now I call upon Gashoka Kangata, who is going to introduce the guest speaker of the day. When I logged in, he was speaking, and then I was like, my goodness, what time is it? Has he already started introducing the guest speaker? So Gashoka Kangata, kindly introduce the speaker of today. Gashoka Kangata. Karibu.
Yes, this is Gashoka Kangata. Thank you very much. Good morning. Yes, today I have the honor of introducing our guest speaker, and I will just go straight to that. Our guest speaker is Caroline Nyamwaya Mwazi, who is the director and chief change catalyst of Huru Consult, a management and training consulting company that serves growth-oriented corporates, entrepreneurs, and individuals in Kenya and beyond. She specializes in strategy, finance, leadership, learning, and personal development, and is passionate about personal and organizational development. She is the creator and lead coach of Go for Gold, Build Your Business and Unlock Strategy programs, and is a master coach for the dynamic coaching skills and effective business coaching programs. She serves on the boards of ASEC, which is Association of Startup and SME Enablers of Kenya, and she's also in KAWBO, which means the Kenya Association of Women Business Owners, and is the 2024 and 2025 chair of the Learning and Development Africa Conference. She is also accredited for the accredited facilitator and will be sharing key principles of the Clarity for D framework to help you better understand yourself and enhance your relationships and results. Welcome so much, Caroline Nyamwaya, and all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gashoka. And hi, everybody. Good to see you nice and early on a Monday. Yes, in Power Monday, there are no Monday blues. We are here to engage and we're here to share as well. So welcome to the world of color. As you heard, my name is Caroline Nyamwaya Mwazi, and it's a super pleasure to be here today. A bit about Huru Consult. We are management and training consultants, so we help organizations to be better. We also work with entrepreneurs, and of course, people development is one of the things that we do, and that will be one of the focuses of our discussion this morning. We are also accredited Clarity 4D partners, and it is in that position that I share our presentation today. So what are we going to do in the time that we have? This is usually a 2-day workshop, believe it or not. It takes 2 whole days to just unpack everything, do the assessments and so on. But today you're going to get a taste of it. And I know that still out of our time today, you will still have a lot that you learn about yourself and also about the people around you. So we're going to look at understanding Clarity 4D. Then we're going to look at the 4 dimensions, and you'll actually experience all 4 in our time here today. We're going to make it practical and engaging. So the part that I'm going to be talking more will just be at the beginning. And the whole idea is that we continuously grow and develop. And so that image there that you see is called a helix. It's the never-ending personal development, where we move from just reacting to things and doing things automatically to becoming more conscious and more responsive as we engage with people. The fact of the matter is that you live with people, you work with people, you engage with people. I know AI is trying to change that, but we know that we always interact with people. The fact also, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's not always smooth. There are times when we've got easy relationships with people, but sometimes we have difficult relationships, challenging relationships, and it's all about not understanding each other. We would want people to get us, to understand us. And sometimes we wish that we got along better in our families, in our work, with the people that we engage with, even with the people that we live with. So the fact is that everybody relates with people, but it's not always great. And the whole purpose of Clarity 4D is just to enhance understanding, to enhance communication, so that we've got better relationships, whether it's at work, at home, in the community, in our businesses, everywhere. So as long as there's people, there is color. And by the end of our session today, we shall understand this better. So why Clarity 4D? Simply because it is simple, affordable, it is global and effective. It's a program that comes out of the UK, but it is really, really valuable and will help us. So why does it help us? Because it helps us to have efficiency of relationships, both at work and at home. And it is the 6 Sigma. So in other words, the highest standards for efficiency in our plans and processes. So it really helps us, to just work more effectively and more productively together by fostering better understanding. So it helps us to work, well. And it is the Kaizen, for those of you who know Kaizen, continuous improvement for people connection, efficiency, and it's always about continuous improvement. Why? You might have a good relationship with your friend, with your husband or your wife, your spouse, with your children, but you know that there's some things that can still be better. So this is about continuous improvement, both in understanding yourself, but in understanding the people around you. So it's a model that looks at 4 levels. The first one is for you to understand yourself. The second one is to understand how other people may perceive you, might see you. The third one is to then start stretching from that awareness, right? The way people, understanding yourself and the way people see you, to starting to relate better with people by stretching, by adopting some of their behaviors as well, so that you can relate better and engage better. And we'll talk about that. And the fourth dimension is the one that brings out the continuation over time. Because as you know, the person you were 5 years ago is not the person you are now. We are continuously growing and evolving as we experience different things, as we learn different things. The journey of personal development never ends. So it has been designed to be more than a profile. That's if you do the assessment. It is actually a process that is intended to give clarity about yourself and to unlock potential in teams and individuals. And ultimately, it's about just increasing the known about you from your own view, from that of other people, to beginning to explore as you diversify and, of course, continuously developing over time. And as we engage with people, wherever we are, at home, at work, in business, on the street, everywhere, communication lies at the heart of it all. And the way we communicate typically will show the kind of people that we are. And in our session today, you'll be able to understand yourself better and understand others better. So with that brief introduction as to what Clarity 4D is, let's dive right into it. It's going to be practical. It's going to be fast and furious, because I know we need to be done by 1:15, and I want to respect the time that I have been given. So welcome to Clarity 4D. I hope you have a notebook and a pen next to you, because you need it, because our first exercise is going to take us right into it. So there are 4 colors on the screen there, and each of them has a description below it. So just read through all of them and find out or identify which color is most like you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's no right or wrong. There's no, I should be quieter and you're this bright, sunny personality. There's none of that. But really, just be honest with yourself. And honesty is one of the key elements that we insist on in this program. So are you reflective, observing, analytical, cautious, formal, or exacting? Or are you focused, decisive, direct, challenging, assertive, and action-oriented? So you're going to find out the color that is most like you, and then you list them for you in descending order. For instance, if I'm more of the chatty, expressive, cheerful, sociable, exuberant, and enthusiastic style, then I'd put 1 yellow, that's my top one, and then below that I'd write 2, maybe one of the other ones up to the least one, which will be a 4. So I hope the instructions are clear. And finally, green is empathic, concerned, informal, supportive, patient, and easygoing. So it'll take about 2 or 3 minutes for you to do that. Once you're done, please give us, I think a thumbs up will do, so that we know that you're done and we know that we can move on. So you have about 3 minutes to do that. And yes, we'll do that. So if you have any questions, let us know. Remember, you're listing the colors for yourself, not for another person, in descending order, starting with the one that most describes you and ending with the one that least describes you. So you'll have 1, as an example, green, 2, maybe red or whatever it is, yes, according to the ones that most describe you down to the least describes you. Thank you. So we'll give that about 2 minutes for you to think and do that. And as we do that, let me find something nice to play so that it's not dead silence.
Carol,
Thank you.
no, actually,
Yes.
people have done. Yeah, enough people
Oh,
are already giving thumbs up. Yeah. So,
that was quick. So no need for the music.
there is no need for music. People
Okay,
are done.
great.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, so we'll give you another 30 seconds for those of you who are still thinking through and analyzing, and then we shall get into the discussion. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see all your thumbs up. Beautiful.
Yes.
And Odhiambo has even shared his order, blue, red, green, and yellow. Thank you. Beautiful.
The umbrella, I thought you should be yellow first.
Now we're already moving to how other people see you, but this first one is how you see yourself.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. So another
Good.
10 seconds. And make sure you write it down so that you can mull over this later once we are done, because this is just simply going to trigger a number of things, but there's some more thinking you might need to do, especially with the other dimensions. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I see your thumbs up. Beautiful. Thank you. Not only write that in chat, but write it also for yourself. So just do a list so you can start depending on your highest. For instance, blue, yellow, red, green. So just list them in order, starting with the highest. Beautiful. So thanks, everybody, for that. Moving on to the next thing, which is learning how others see you. So for those of you who put yourselves as yellow first, so we'll go in order. So we'll start with the yellows, the highest yellows, but don't look only at your highest, look at your first and your second. It's really fun when we do this practically because we do it as a card sort. But no worries, we can still do it virtually. So identify what is your top and your second one. Also take note of your last one as well. Very, very important. But also as I'm presenting this, how others may see you, then you'll be able then to see some of the challenges you may have had, some of the clashes you have. So we'll start with the yellow, just unpacking that. Thank you, June. You may be reflecting from past tests where you've been so yellow, yes, but if you had done those accurately, it could still be true. Thank you also, Edda and Anne and Anita and Elizabeth and all those who've shared. Maurice, you've written 1 and 4, so you want to be a bit more specific. What is your 1? Because your 1 may not be my 1, depending on what our dominant is. Scholastic has listed hers, so has Mercy, and all the others. So thank you, everyone, for sharing. But remember, in addition to sharing in chat, make that list for you because you can do a bit more unpacking after this. Excellent. So it's important not only to know how you see yourself, but how others may perceive you. So if you're yellow, you probably will describe yourself as animated, lively, engaging, optimistic, entertaining, articulate, expressive. The yellows in the house, if that was your top one, you can give me hand claps and yes, that is who we are. You can react, yes. Creative, persuasive, friendly, and spirited, right? So that's how you probably will see yourself and describe yourself. And in fact, sometimes on a good day, this is what people will say about you. But some of the things that people may also say about you is that you are exaggerating, chaotic, self-promoting, unrestrained, impulsive, selfish, shallow, frantic, showy, noisy, careless, and tactless. And I know that that may sound a bit harsh, and it might not be you 100%, but sometimes these might be things that people have said about you. So yellows in the house, do you agree or disagree? What do you think? You can share your comments in chat as we do that. And we're going to do this for all of them, right? So JPP, you might be yellow, red, green, and blue. Thank you. Let me share mine. I am red. I'm red, blue, yellow, and green. That's me, right? But I mean, it's just what it is. Remember, I told you there's no right or wrong, but it's good to know that, yes, on a good day, that might be you, that might be how you see yourself, but other people may see you differently. And it's important to do that. To be aware about that. And this sometimes can be potential for clashes and for some difficulties in your relationships. Okay, so thank you. That's the blue. I'd like some of the red to comment in chat. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you agree only up to a point? What's your level of agreement or disagreement with that? Yellows in the house, talk to me in chat. Is it 100%? Is it 100% for the positive areas? And for the perception, sometimes maybe 60% or 70%? Or do you tend to agree? If you tend to agree, then that would probably be a 60 or a 70 or even an 80%. Yellows, talk to me. You normally react very fast. So I want to see. Agree, Carol says. Thank you, Caroline. Beautiful. What about the others? What do you think? And that is the positive together with the negatives, because you see, there are ways that people see us that may not be very flattering, but it's just how we are seen. I told you my dominant is red, and I agree. Sometimes I can be pushy and all the rest of it, but we shall get to that very shortly. So those are the yellows. And that's what people may say. You might not agree with all, but there tends to be, especially if you picked the right color for yourself, then you probably, yes. So hopefully, JPP, you'll see, this may help to open your awareness in terms of people might say that, the exaggerating, the self-promoting, and so on. But of course, the sunny side of our personality is definitely all this, and it has its space. And by the way, there's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad, but it's good to know that there are two sides to every coin and just to be aware about it. Thank you very much. So that's yellow. Let's move on to the blues. So the blues, we tend to see ourselves as factual, careful, quiet, conventional, organized, deep thinking, logical, self-disciplined, meticulous, reflective, and analytical. And appreciate that typically the people you'll clash most with, blues, are the yellows. Yellows you'll clash mostly with the blues, right? So that's just how it is. And how people may see blues is preoccupied, remote, that means not close but detached, over exacting, we must put everything in a straight line and no deviations from that. If it is straight, it must be straight. Otherwise, it is bad. It's a disaster. They're also seen as unenthusiastic, distant, rigid. It must be like this, conformist as well, skeptical, overcritical, or over analytic, right? Cold, unbelieving, and resistant. So we might see ourselves as this, and this is true about those of us who are blue. On the other hand, some people, especially the yellows, will see us as preoccupied and all the rest of it and resistant. You want to change things, be spontaneous, but somebody is refusing to go with the flow. Blues in the house, talk to me. Do you agree? And if you give a percentage, it will probably be 75.6. It has to be exact, right? Yeah, but what do you think? Talk to me, blues. Remember, it's my second one, so I am with you in some of these accusations, but also tend to be the things that are in the positive side as well. Thank you very much. So we have some answers coming through. True, Carol also says. True, 80%. Morris, you did say 80.26%. Thank you. Just a joke. Elizabeth says true indeed. Very true. Yes, it's true. And we will tend to attract as spouses, yellows. Yes, as romantic partners, even as friends. Yet sometimes that is where we clash as well. That our blueness sometimes can rub them the wrong way, and their yellowness can rub the blues the wrong way as well. Thank you very much. All right. So then now let's then look at the greens. So the greens are the relational people. So loyal, thoughtful, supportive, empathetic, attentive, tactful, steady. So they'll get there. They might not get there very fast, but they'll get there. Unassuming, committed, caring, appreciative, and understanding, right? That is, and they tend, their color opposite actually are the reds. So many reds will say that they are slow, they are obstinate or stubborn, undecided, stubborn is there already, submissive, gloomy, disapproving, unforgiving, resentful, passive, hesitant, and listless. So greens, talk to me, and I'll ask you this very gently because we need to be gentle with you. Do you agree or disagree? And have some people sometimes complained about that about you? Sometimes they'll complain gently, or if they're red, they'll complain very aggressively. But do they sometimes say that you're slow or that you're stubborn or that you are too easygoing or submissive and unforgiving? That's an interesting one, I find, but also resentful, passive, right? See you have some fire, see you push yourself, see you go for it, right? Do they say things like those? But also, on the positive side, people finding you very easy to talk to, non-judgmental, and also attentive and available to listen to, and kind and caring. Yeah, they've not written kind here, but that tends to be how people perceive you. And usually people will find it very easy to talk to you, even about the deep things in their life, because they're just comfortable and it's easy to be around you. So yes, green true. Yes, thank you, Miss Queen, for sharing. Other greens, let us know. Is that true? Does that describe you? All right, good. So that's it. And remember, there are two sides to all of them. So let us now end with the reds, the action-oriented people, the results-oriented people, results-based, the drivers in our society as well. And remember, pay attention to your number one and your number two, because your number one is who you tend to be, but number two is what might also temper who you are. It's like how I said, I am red. My top one is red, and it's interesting. I wore almost red today, not on purpose. I just wore how I was feeling this morning. But yes, I tend to be red, but my number two is blue. So usually you look at both. So I hope you've been able to do that as well. So the reds in the room, talk to me if you're there. And we tend to be seen as decisive, proactive, passionate, focused, assured, direct, bold, achieving, brave, persistent, striving, and forthright. We speak the truth, and sometimes we don't care how that affects other people. We'll say it as it is, and sometimes we're even proud about that, yeah? We say it just the way it is, and we deal with it now as we go, you know? And yes, if there's blood, just deal with it, pick yourself up, move on. So that's how we are tending to be. So this is good as well. That being said, other people may see those of us in the room who are red as insensitive, arrogant, impatient, self-opinionated, controlling, domineering, aggressive. Some words I've heard also is pushy, hot-tempered, relentless, inconsiderate, reckless, and dismissive. And this, simply put, is because of being results oriented. We want to get to the finish line and we want to get to win, if possible, to get there. But sometimes others may see us as that. Our color opposite are greens. So green, your color opposite is red, which means that you will tend to clash the most with reds if you're a green. Some elements we will understand each other with the yellows and the the yellows and the yellows and the blues because of being, action oriented and so on. But the ones that will clash with the most are the reds. Reds will clash the most with the greens. Blues will clash the most with the yellows. So just have that awareness. And remember, pay attention to your number 1 and your number 2, because some of the things in your number 2 already you've seen where some of your issues are. Thank you. So thank you, Robert Manyala. Yes, enjoying the training a lot, experiencing it again, because I presented this live in a forum that we both are in. So yes, red hapo sasa, reds love to marry the greens. Thinking that they can be submitted to, red as boss, cooked. Thank you. Very true about the red. Thank you, reds in the house. Yes, tuko pamoja. Na ni kweli, it's true. A lot of entrepreneurs also tend to be reds because it's about identifying opportunities, going for it. We tend to also be very goal-oriented and not really into the feelings of those that we work with. So it's important for us to start appreciating one another like that. So what do you think? What new insights have you gained? Do you have any questions? What's on your mind right now? With that, before we move to the next part, I know, Pam, a bit extra, Cindy. I know, it's true, but it takes all sorts to make a world, and the beauty is that not all of us is anyone. So even if you're a red, your number 2 might be blue or yellow. And so how we show up is tempered by that. Because my number 2 is blue, another person might have a yellow. So you find that you can have somebody who's goal-oriented, but very friendly and bubbly about it. So we get there and we have fun. Whereas if you're working with somebody who's red and blue, there'll be a lot of details and analytics with it, and still with the driving goal-orientedness. Somebody who, on the other hand, is blue with green, you'll find they tend to be very thorough and very exact, and at the same time, they relate very well with people. And so we all show up differently, and it's good to appreciate your number 1 and your number 2. It's also good to appreciate your least one, because sometimes that's the people that you might find you struggling with relationally, not getting to understanding. And think about it with your spouse, with your family members, your siblings, even your parents, and also think about that with people in your community as well. And there's a whole discussion that we can do. Like when we do the full workshop, we even talk about how we dress differently, how we speak, how we write emails, and how we show up even in meetings. And so there's a lot that you can see from the people around you. But I hope you're already starting not only to identify yourself, but also to identify the people around you and some of the reasons why you might be clashing with them. So somebody is asking, this is Maurice, are these personality or character types? Are they innate? Can they be changed with training? Usually you're born with them, Maurice. They tend to be inherited with us. We tend to show up in a certain way. That being said, and you'll see this as we go to the remaining levels, because we've looked at level 1 already, assessing yourself, level 2, how other people may see you. And now we're moving to how they can be modified. And I wouldn't say with training or context, but more with awareness. And I hope by the end of our session today, your awareness will be more elevated so that you look and listen more and identify. This is also something that you can use when you're dealing with team members, dealing with your boss, dealing with your team members and people who report to you. But also if you're in sales, to identify how the different colors show up in the people you're talking to so that you can adapt and match. And that's really what the training and practice is, Maurice, the adapting, so that I may be red, but I adapt some green behaviors to get along with those, or I have more understanding as well. And so more patience as well. So these are things that we learn as well. So thank you. I think I'm the one who shared the insights. What other insights have you gained about yourself or about how others see you? Thank you. Maurice, I hope that has helped with your question, and do share. Do let me know in chat if that has answered your question. Thank you. Florence, thank you. Good to see you. And you're asking, do we show up in different colors in different environments? Yes, environment can play a part. For instance, if you are tending to be yellow, free-spirited, and so on. You'll always have that in you. But if you've been in schools that really bring out blue, because I went to Catholic schools, and there's a lot of blueness encouraged there, the excellence, right? The keeping your desk neat and tidy. But still, even if you were yellow, we'd know who the bubbly ones are. Even though the rules tried to keep us on the straight and narrow, we'd still know who the fun personalities were, and the bubbly ones, the serious ones, the goal-oriented ones. I remember once writing an article in an article in high school, an essay, and being accused of writing like a man simply because my language tends to be very direct. But that's simply because of how I show up. Another thing is that with training a bit, it happens because, yes, I'm a red, but as I've been working as a coach and a counselor, I've found that I've become very, very green in many ways. So listening, having compassion, and other things. And love, as the Bible says, covers a multitude of sins. And so you find that, yes, with time, you can change as well. Thank you. So this is a very good conversation. Carol is saying, I now understand why I clash with others. Indeed, because, and then sometimes you find as a red, you're pushing greens while they dig in their heels and they refuse to go simply because you're rushing them. You're going too fast. Whereas adopting a more patient, a more slower approach is what can get them to feel understood and seen, and therefore to cooperate with you. So it's really about building human understanding by understanding yourself, but also how others see you. Thanks for those of you who've shared. Let's keep the conversation going. So on to more of Maurice's question and comments. And my question is, how would you identify color in others, and how would you use that information to improve relationships? So this we can do as a discussion. I'm looking at the time, so we might not be able to get into the depths of it, but how would you identify color in others? Like, for instance, how would you know that someone is a red, is a yellow, based on what we have seen? What would you see with the yellow? Let's start there and share in chat. How would you identify that someone is a yellow? What are some of the things you'd see, maybe in their dressing, maybe in their communication, in how would you describe them in one word? Thank you. Chatty, thank you. Carol, for that. Talkative, they wear bright clothes, very cheerful. Life of the party, thank you, Susan. That's usually how I describe them. Bright, yes. Smiling, very much. Yellow are flamboyant. Exactly. Super. Thank you for that. How would you identify a blue among you? And I know you guys have already seen people in your community, at work, in your family, and you know. Quiet. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Another word I'd use for quiet, although quiet is thoughtful. So it's not that they don't speak at all. They do speak, but they tend to take, yes, there you go, thoughtful. Absolutely, yes. Loners for many times, yes, yes. They tend to keep to themselves. They tend to be introverts, actually. The yellows and reds are extroverts. The blues and the greens tend to be introverts, yes. Loners for many times, yes. True. Because they tend to be thinking about things, and some of the things they think about are usually quite highbrow. So they might not relate very easily with others. Thank you. What else? Blues, yellows, yes, they can be associated with sanguines, absolutely. June has a story. She worked for Wananchi Online back in the day. They did psychometric tests, and she found the outcome a bit daunting. Later in network marketing, they had a different approach to better understand the prospect and the client. Yours has been the most enhancing. Thank you. Thank you, June. That is brilliant. Thank you for that. Yeah, and very validating as well. Thank you. OPP is a blue who has worked hard on his red to come to the forefront. Yes, we can adapt. The inner us will always remain the same, but yes, thank you. Thank you, June. That's very insightful, very useful. Yes. And as you do these tests, you find them in different ways. Some people even have animals that they describe. So the yellow is, I think, an otter for the animals. The blue is a badger, so very diligent, very hardworking as well. They focus on the work. Then the reds are lions, of course, and then the greens are, there's a description they had, but I can't remember it. I did that one with the animals many years ago. But yes, Thank you. Very useful. How would you know that someone is, okay, so we were still on blue, but also now red. Yes. So we have a few more that have come in. Yes. Your first green, 2 yellow, but you're working to get some red. Yes. The results orientedness, the action orientedness. Absolutely. How would you know that someone is a red? Thank you for the love heart iPhone. Red is fiery. Yes. Thank you, Carol. How does the fire show up? What do you see? We have them in families. When it's children, they're the ones who round everybody up and make them do things that they're supposed to do. We finish our duties first, then we watch the movie. We cannot be watching the movie and the house is dirty. Quick to catch feelings. Yes, but any personality can be sensitive, by the way. Yeah, it depends on the interactions. Domineering, that is, and it's good to see you, Wanjiro Kibe. Yes, domineering, pushy. They need no introduction. Yes, they make themselves known very quickly. I remember when I was in class 1, just a young girl in a new girl in school, and already answering questions on the first day. The first to put up their hands and answer. True, very true. And how do you recognize a green, somebody with a green personality? Absolutely, Carol, the drivers, yes. They make themselves known, they speak fast, they make the decisions, they organize everybody. Even with among children, you know the organizers. And Maurice is asking, I wonder which one carries the day, how we perceive ourselves, both. Because, part of emotional intelligence, and that's not the topic of our discussion today, is that we need to be self-aware. And also part of self-awareness, Maurice, is understanding how others perceive us, both positively and less positively as well. Brave, hardworking, yes, they are pushing not only of others, but also of themselves. So Julia, absolutely. Helpful and supportive. Now we are on to the greens, yes. Yes, you're not an ambivert, really. And that's actually a unique combination, Lucy, being red and green, which means, yes, you push for results, but you do it in a sensitive manner. So people actually like achieving the results with you because you're nice. And that is a beautiful combination to have. Greens are empathetic, absolutely. They drop everything to help. They feel with you and they are the go-to people. I usually like to describe greens like a comfortable sweater. You know that one that you go to when it's cold and it just hugs you? They're like that. They're very teddy bearish, but remember, they can also be stubborn. If you push them too much, they get to a point where they just dig in and they refuse to go, right? So that's also there. So they have a sensitive side to them as well, and it's good to appreciate that. And so you see already, just from the few minutes we've spent together, that you can already identify the colors in other people. So the next question is, how would you use that information then to improve your relationships with them? Either with somebody who's a yellow or a green or a blue, or, which one have I missed? Or a red, yes. How would you use that information to help you? Especially if you're not that. What would you do? Think about the person that you clash with most. And there's a reason why I've put these colors in this order, because the yellows will tend to clash with the blues. The reds will tend to clash with the greens. So how would you then use the information about your color opposite, especially, to improve your relationships with them? What would you do? Well, what are some things that you could do? Yes, how do we understand them, Carol, and how do we meet them at their level? Let's go a bit deeper with that. But yes, definitely you're on the right track, Caroline. To understand them, to meet them at their level, how do we do that? I know it needs a bit of thought, and we can have one or two sharing on the mic as the rest are typing in chat. Does anyone want to share on the mic? Just raise your hand. We'll give you the floor. You should be able to speak so that we can also hear a different voice other than just mine.
Sometimes it takes a lot of time. So I think the chats will do because we do not have a lot of minutes left.
Thank you, JPP. So now that you have the mic, as the chats are coming through, you share. How would you use that information to?
This is meant to help in our relationship. When I come to you and I know you're red, and I know what comes with red, then I will not judge you. Yes, I will be empathetic. I try to understand that, well, that is, and it's not your mistake. You found yourself like that. So I will, it builds bridges. It helps to build a bridge. So I know how to approach, I know what would be your expectation. And perhaps I would also help you to understand yourself, that, these are some of the things, this is the type of person you are, and this is how it can be perceived by others, and therefore it's good, if the intention is to build relationship, it's good to also understand yourself and the likes. Yeah, and I think that's essentially how these personalities need to help us, and that's why we need to know where others are, where we are, and we know whether we are going to clash. I think a friend of mine, I saw him here, Carol, in the US, said that you can anticipate trouble. I see he has his hand up. Yeah, you can say something, Carol.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Carol, go
So
ahead.
thank you very much for making this work so simple. I really appreciate you for coming out and breaking everything in a very simplistic way. I love it, the way you've done it. I'm coming from a
Thank you.
background of MBTI consulting, and I'm also coming from EQ.
Mhm.
And I've gone through a very rigorous journey of patching the two. And I'm really, I cannot take my journey away. Even though I appreciate your work, your work is more simplistic and tries to really make the jargon so simple. Sadly for me, I'm used to the jargon, so I can break them easily without struggling. But the question you asked, how, and I want to answer it in a totally different way. And I answer it from the point that every single red has got a shadow that is green in them. And every single yellow has got a shadow that is blue. Whatever we project, whether it's a yellow or a red, that we see on the surface is really not our reality. The reality is that we are all these colors together. But our perception lies to us that we are red. But all of us humans, we have all these colors in us. And I think emotional intelligence is the ability for us to let, if I'm a red, is to make sure that I am able to show out as a green. And for the yellow, he should be able to bring himself as a blue. And so I think the awareness is for you to know exactly the shadow of your face that you have failed to embrace. And if you know that it is your shadow, you see how easy it is for you to embrace those who are not like you, because those people are living within the shadow that you can only dream about. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Carol, for sharing that. It's interesting that your name is Carol, because I was expecting to hear a female voice and then I heard you, but no matter.
Carol.
I've seen the Polish one, which is with a K, but not with a C. Is that actually correct? Or you're using somebody's system? Maybe.
So basically, long before the era where we are, Caroline was for a lady and Carol was for a man. Joseph was for a man and Josephine was for a lady. Paul was for a man and Pauline was for a lady. And the name goes, all you had to do is to add INE to any name and it would be feminine. So Carol is actually a masculine name. But the problem is the women have actually tried to make their name shorter. That is the problem.
Yes, we are the ones. And we're not shy and ashamed about it. We are proud about it. Thank you, Carol, for bringing in that aspect. One thing I want to emphasize from what you've said, without getting too technical, is that we have all the four. Remember, we were ranking them 1, 2, 3, 4, which means there was something for each color in all of us. And remember, I told us also to look at the primary and the secondary, because that's usually how you show up. But like when I'm with my kids, I'm definitely, I'm very red, but there's that tender side of me as well. And remember, over time, I said you can develop the others. So we have them all. And a program like this makes us then move away from saying, that's just how I am and that's who I am. So take me as I am, to maybe becoming more thoughtful and saying, if this is how people see me, can I become more of green if I'm too red? Or to temper my green so that it's there, yes, but it's not so overt or so aggressive. Or if I'm too sunny, then when I go for a funeral service, I'll always be the sunny person, but underneath it, now I show more of my green side as well. So thank you for bringing that perspective. Very, very true and important. And yes, some of the others are technical, which is actually why Clarity 4D was developed, to bring it to the where we can talk about it very easily using the language of color. Absolutely. Thanks. And some other work that also relates to this is if you read the work by Tim LaHaye, there's a lot there. And then there's also the book Surrounded by Idiots. I'm surprised nobody mentioned it, but it does talk about color and how color shows up as well. So thank you. Thank you very much for that. And the clarification about the name Carol, that I did not know. But yes, we hold on to it. As well. So I want to just close this discussion by looking at Carol, what she said, understand them and meet them at your level. And to tie that with the first element of emotional intelligence, which is self-awareness. I remember I've been doing this for many years, and just like you, I've also done MBTI work on different levels, and also done a lot of emotional intelligence work and other work as well. And it's just to say that this is about understanding yourself, but also the thing I want to emphasize is also learning to see how others see us and to meet them at their level. And so how do we do that? We listen more, we observe more. We don't just gaze at our navels, but we also begin to listen more to other people, observing more. Even for those of us who are parents, we have different types of children. And sometimes you will insist that a good child is the one that only thinks like you and looks at the world like you. But now stretching and becoming more flexible to understand that not everyone is like you, that others are different, that my dominant may be red, another person's might be yellow. So we take them with their yellowness, with their bright, sunny personality as well. And also to know that we get affected by the things in our lives. So we all have the different emotions. So it's not just one way or one way of looking at things, but there are other things that temper, that color, or that also shadow us as well. So thank you for that. That was really a brilliant discussion, totally unexpected, but very rich and beautiful. So I'm just going to try to read all these, and then we'll bring our discussion to an end. So Carol says, understand them, which is our
We are moving
anchor.
very fast. Time is almost up.
Yes.
By now we should be done. So that
Absolutely, JPP. Thank you. Thank you for that. The good thing is that I was answering the questions as we went. So understand them, let them talk, listen, observe. That's key. And that also helps to build relationships. Blue, give them space, give them time to think, do more check-ins. Yes. So having space for conversations to happen. As a manager, you know who to pair, not to pair in teams, but also trying out things to try to get people to get along, to build understanding, relationship. Conversation is key. Each color, Florence says, be aware how they impact, yes, in order to improve relationships. I hope that has happened today already. Conversations are key, and frank, open, trustful conversations are key. By understanding self, it becomes easy to understand others. As a result, to try to coexist. Yes, there'll always be room for improvement, Shiro, but yes, there can definitely be a place where there's better understanding and less friction. Susan says helps us in understanding EI and especially social competence. Yes, we work with people, we live with people, anytime we're around people, we need to understand ourselves and them. And that's the whole purpose of our discussion today. To add on, also Shiro says, not easily depending on the amount, area of, okay, I'm not very sure about that last part, but thank you, still for that. Let's see a few more. Very true. Carol is a Thank you. So a good discussion about the names. Glad to have learned something new in what's in a name. Yes, about the names. Okay, so that whole discussion about the names. Thank you. Yes, very informative. You have a meeting. Yes, we need to end. So let's do that right away. For those of you who want to join the WhatsApp group, thank you. Absolutely. So that really is the point of this, understanding yourself, understanding how others see you, but you yourself knowing that you have the choice to extend, to stretch, to be more flexible. So if I'm going to do a sales meeting, and let's say I'm a green who loves to ask about the pets and the children and so on, but I'm going to a meeting with a red, then I get straight to the point. Much as I'm interested, maybe as I'm winding up, I can ask very quickly, how's the family? And accept the answer, they're fine. So when are we going to get those responses? And not taking it badly, simply because I understand this is how a red is, and doing the same with all the others. So if I'm a red and I'm going to present to a green, learning to be sensitive and asking those questions, which I think are not necessary, but which are very important to the green person. If I'm a blue going to talk to a yellow, turning or maybe wearing a bright color, smiling a bit more, and not going straight to the details and so on, but also being lighter as well. But if I'm a yellow going to talk to a blue, getting my facts right and my details right, being a bit more thorough in my preparation to just gain better understanding. Thank you. So the final part, we'll just have that as one slide, is simply to say that the helix never ends, and that really is it. That this is a journey that will always go on, but just moving from reacting, automatic, to manual, which is more conscious, being aware, responding as opposed to reacting. And so the fourth dimension is about practicing and developing your full potential over time. Remember, we talked about Kaizen. So it's really about continuous growth and improvement. So do share your key takeaways in chat. We have looked at understanding clarity 4D, looking at the 4 dimensions, and you've had an opportunity to experience it. Remember, it's a 2-day workshop where we get into the detail, the philosophy, the psychological understanding behind it, but the 4 dimensions you've actually been able to experience today. So yes, what's one thing that you're taking away to think about? What's your takeaway today? And are there any final questions as I hand over to JPP? Thank you very much, everybody. It's been brilliant discussing all that we've talked about today. My encouragement to us is that we grow in color. Do get in touch with me. The latter number will come directly to me. And you can also send me an email at simwazi@huruconsult.com or at simwazi@gmail.com. Let's also connect on our socials and continue the conversation. So everybody, let's grow in color. JPP, I hand it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, today we've broken the record. We are almost ending at 8:15. Usually this time we are. Noel, where are you? We are closing. People can stay behind just in case you have some pertinent questions. You can ask Carol. She will be here. Noel, okay, I don't know who
I'm
was
here.
supposed to
Thank
give
you.
Okay.
I am here. I want us to take 5 minutes, like to do everything, to wrap up until we are done. So I call upon Maurice Omondi, who is going to give us the vote of thanks. Mr. Maurice Omondi, we are waiting for you. As Maurice Omondi is unmuting, okay, please enable him. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I think it has been great, and tumepimiwa time, or people tumepimiwa time. Maybe probably bring Caroline again so that we can have more. So I just want to first thank so much Dr. Lucita for the poem we had. We talked of life is a phoenix. Sometimes some of us pronounce it as a phoenix, but thank you so much for the poem. Thank you so much, our speaker. It has been powerful. Caroline, thank you so much. This has been great. And it has, it's just like removing some things we know, but when it is reaffirmed again, it helps us to be more clear, and it helps us to become better persons, understanding ourselves and also understanding other people. Thank you so much for the presentation and for clarity, for making it very clear using colors. I also like to thank you so much, the Power Monday team, led by Otino Paul Peter, Lady Noel, Olale, Dr. Melvin, Antonia, as well as Gashoka, and all of us who have been there from the beginning supporting this movement. It's actually like a movement, and we really, really appreciate. Also like to give a special thanks to Falcon, who have been a sponsor for this and a couple of series. And we urge members to keep on checking at Falcon and seeing what they provide, even as they support this Power Monday. I would like to also thank you so much, all the participants, for coming, because if you're not there, the speaker will have been speaking to themselves. And there's a book she mentioned, I think it was in a hurry, but I wrote it down. I don't know if that's the correct spelling, Surrounded by Idiots. I think that is a very, very funny title, but I think I'm going to look at it. I think it must be very, very interesting. So that I look whether I am surrounded by idiots or I'm one of the idiots surrounding other people. Otherwise, thank you very much, and may you have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Maurice Omondi. Thank you so much. Maurice Omondi is one of our Power Monday OGs. He has been with us since Kitambo Sana. Thank you so, so much, Mr. Maurice Omondi. So I call upon Antonia to give us anything from admin. Antonia, kindly. And as she comes, we really thank Falcon for being there and partnering with us for these episodes. We thank you so, so much.
Antonia, where are you?
Antonia, I saw her. Okay, so just to let you know that we will be having our meet and greet the last Saturday of this month. Kindly let us start registering for it, because we have to book the place and everything. Let's avoid being like minutes, please, 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 please. I'm pretty sure we have given ourselves enough time.